Hey everyone, I'm back again for another quick unboxing video. If you caught my previous one where I opened a few of the Master of the Universe Classics figures that I've had for a while, I hope you enjoyed it. I had talked in the poll leading up to that video that I also had Masterverse and some Origins figures that I was wanting to get opened up. So here are some of my current Masterverse figures that I wanted to go ahead and get opened up so I could get them on my shelf and start working on how I want to arrange and get them displayed and everything. This video, instead of going through each figure and opening it up and kind of walking you through that, I'm just going to show you which ones I'm going to open. Then we'll go through opening everything up, and then I'll just kind of do a little brief review and commentary on each one of the individual figures, so that, you know, the video is not as long, and hopefully, you know, you can pick through it and won't take up as much time. You'll enjoy it, but give you an opportunity to see what figures that I'm working with currently. If you haven't collected or had an opportunity to experience some of the Masterverse figures, it was a line that originally I wasn't that big of a fan of with some of the Revelation figures and everything, but ever since they've done the new Eternia stuff and even some of the new Revolution figures, I have been a big fan of them. So I've started collecting these and been, you know, putting them back until I had an opportunity to actually put them out on display and get my shelving and everything up. So with that, without any further ado, these are the ones that I'm going to open for you real quick. I've got Mekaneck, Battle Armor He-Man, Stinkor, Grizzlor, and Faker. So let's get started. We're going to start with Mekaneck first. Just kind of work through the line here, get these guys opened up, see how they look, and I will probably fast forward you through most of these. Okay, good deal. We've got everything unboxed now, so let's look these guys over. Okay. Already, just from some of the other Masterverse figures that I've already opened, I can tell that I really like the sculpt that they did here with our first one, Mekaneck. I always liked him from the original vintage Motu line, and you know, they did a really good job just doing a updated version of that sculpt. He's got the traditional looking armor. He's got his club. You know, he is just, yeah, he's a really good looking figure. And I didn't pull it out of the box, but he does have some extensions for his neck and everything. It's not like the vintage figure where you could turn him and his neck would extend and retract and everything. But he does have pieces that go with him to make sure that you can extend his neck. And the thing I really like about these Masterverse figures, and we'll go through each one because most all of them have them, is they have got they've got a calf joint to where you can rotate the foot direction, and a hip joint right there. So that you got just such good articulation with these. My heart is still really partial to the Master of the Universe Classics figures, just because, you know, that was the first time that we had a larger than 5.5 inch scale figure with some really good articulation that threw back to those original character designs with just a little bit more detailed modern take on them. So, but I tell you, these Masterverse figures have really done an excellent job. And that Mekaneck is from the new Eternia line. And let me double check. Faker here, he is going to be one that's from a new Eternia, because I'm going to do the new Eternia first, and then I'll do the ones that were from the Revelations or Revolutions storylines. So since I've already picked him up, let's just go with him. Let's step in from Mekaneck to Faker. Again, Faker's always been one of my favorite characters, even though, as anybody that knows, the toy version of Faker was never the same as what we saw in the animated series and everything. But I always really enjoyed that color scheme, especially back with the vintage and then the later classics and other versions, Ultimate Fakers that have been done, that had the blue skin tone with the orange, because that's always been two of my favorite colors. So I really like the orange armor, the orange weapons and everything. And that's something that they changed up with this new Eternia Faker, is he still got the blue skin tone, but they made his armor more of a plum color, you know, a little bit of a purple tone versus the orange that he typically was. Did the same with his sword, gave him that color. But they did kind of maintain this, you know, yellowish orange color for his axe, the battle axe that he comes with. So, and for those of you that know, the classics line, they actually had a couple different Fakers that came out. There was the standard version of the Faker that was available by himself. Then they had a battle armor Faker that came in the 2-pack with the Bizarro. It was a DC Master of the Universe 2-pack that had Bizarro in it. And he is a very expensive figure to find when you do find him. So if you run across that pack at a reasonable price, grab it up, because Bizarro's not an expensive figure at all. But the Faker from that 2-pack, you know, he is normally, just as a loose figure, well north of $200. So anyways, I am really happy with this Faker. And I don't know if you keep up with the new pre-orders and releases coming up, but they announced a vintage version of the Faker in the Masterverse line. I've already got my pre-order in for him, so I'll be adding him to the collection too. But yeah, I'm really happy with what they did with this Faker. I felt it was a really good new Masterverse, new Eternia interpretation of what Faker was from the old sculpt. So, okay, on to another one of my favorites, as you heard me discuss at length in the previous unboxing video, was Grizzlor. Yeah, they did a really good job with this new Eternia. It's almost like a blend of the Filmation version of Grizzlor that we saw in the animated series, and also released by Super 7 on their Filmation line, with just the hairy, you know, grizzly bear looking Grizzlor that we got in classics and the vintage line. So you can really see how they mixed those two designs really well in what I feel like is a nice looking new Eternia. And he of course has his green crossbow. Got to have that green crossbow. So again, Grizzlor is one of my favorite characters. So again, he's another one I'm really happy with. I just think they do a really good job. And again, on point with the articulation. Tight ankles, got rotation at the calves, got rotation at the upper thighs, below the hip. So excellent job. Okay, those were the three that were from the new Eternia line. The other two are from the Battle Armor He-Man is actually from the Revolutions. It's one of the newer figures here. Let me get his battle axe. And, you know, I feel like they did a good job with his armor. Good design on his battle axe here, because, you know, the original vintage Battle Armor He-Man, he came with the battle axe, and that was kind of seen as his primary weapon. But, you know, I think they did a really good job with the head sculpt. You know, they had to take into account the the animation design for the Revolution series and everything, but I do think that it works really well here overall as a He-Man design. You know, I may try taking this head off and putting one of the more vintage sculpted heads from the New Attorney series, you know, Thunder Punch He-Man, Flying Fist He-Man, one of those, and see how it looks, you know, or maybe even the 40th anniversary He-Man. You know, just kind of test it out, play with it, and see how it looks. But as far as the body and the sculpt itself, they did just a really good job with him. So definitely happy with that, and I'd be glad to add him up there on the shelf with my others. And then the last that's a part of the Revelation series, excuse me, is Stinkor. Stinkor is another cool character that I've always liked, always enjoyed. And of course, you know, it's just the colors. Again, it's the black and the white, the red, the oranges. I've always had a soft spot, like with Faker, with any of the figures that incorporated, you know, orange armor, orange weapons, and anything like that to him. So the fact that he's got his orange armor, he's got his blue tanks, and then his blue shield also, yeah. He does come with a different head. The only real difference with it, and I'm not going to pull it out of the pack, is it's got the breathing apparatus that covers his mouth. So it's blue to match the tank and the shield. So, you know, nothing big there, but, you know, just a good solid figure that I'll add up there to my shelf on my Masterverse side. And yeah, I'm really happy with the way all of these guys turned out here. They're a really good set of sculpts. And again, if you've not collected any of the Masterverse line, I do advise you to at least give them a look, especially if you're a fan of Masters of the Universe like I am. I'm not going to get every one of them that they release in the Masterverse line. But if it's a new Eternia sculpt that I really like, or with some of the new vintage style that they've released, the vintage Skeletor, I do have it. I'm not unboxing it with this pack. I'll probably do a Skeletor themed unboxing because I've still got my Bone Throne, my Panther, and then the vintage anniversary Skeletor that I received last week. So I'll unbox all those together. But yeah, so yeah, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Probably the next video that I put out will be either a sit down with the wife, for those that haven't had a chance, you know, don't know Jess or haven't had a chance to meet her. She also works on the page here with me and our Facebook group. But we're going to sit down and just kind of talk about collecting in general. Give everybody an opportunity to kind of get to know a little bit about both of us, what we collect, how we got into this, and where the name Nostalgia by the Cup came from. It was just something that we thought about while we were sitting at a coffee shop and just talking about, you know, topics, old movies, collectibles and everything. And we're like, you know, hey, here we are sitting around talking about things that we like, things that we enjoy. And why don't we just kind of throw these conversations out here? The things that we're nostalgic about, have a cup of coffee. In this series of different videos that we're going to put out, you will see us do some hunting since the weather's starting to turn around a little bit better now. Hitting thrift stores, hitting yard sales, estate sales, toy shows. So it'll be a mixture of that with our conversations about our pickups. Try to find maybe a local coffee shop when we go to a toy show. And that'll be where we kind of shoot our pickups and talk about our experience there. So Nostalgia by the Cup, because we love collecting and we love coffee. So if you're fans of either of those two, grab us a subscribe, keep up with us, because we're going to try to offer a wide variety of different topics and videos as we go forward. And as a note, we do have a pretty big toy show coming up in the next couple of weeks that's local to us, or fairly local, over in Atlanta. It's Toylanta. So I think anybody that's in the toy scene, especially if you're in the Southeast, you know about Toylanta. So I will be doing a full walkthrough and coverage video for the vendors, the booths there, and what pickups and any celebrities or other friends and individuals that we run into and hang out with there. So keep an eye for that video coming up once Toyland is done. Now, Toyland is actually the weekend, I think, of like the 29th, 30th, right in that window, 29th, 30th, 31st, I believe. So the video will probably be about a week after that. So, but in the meantime, again, stay cool. Let me know in the comments the things that you would like to see us cover and talk about here in the video. And if you enjoy things outside of Masters of the Universe, let me know, because I don't just collect Masters of the Universe. I collect a lot of video game stuff, G.I. Joe, and just random different vintage toys that catch my eye. So again, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.